Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try to record again. It looks like it didn't save properly last night. So this video here is going to tell you how to set up your notebook for math this year, which will include your notes for the class and any homework assignments that you complete. So first, your notebook. When you are using your notebook, I expect it to be a composition notebook, so one that looks like this, or a spiral bound. My notebook is a spiral bound notebook. Needs to be something where the pages are attached. I want more than just a loose collection of papers, because papers in your backpack tend to get lost, damaged, whatever. It needs to be attached to each other. For this notebook, I want you to use it only for this class, only math in it. That way we can keep it organized and it has what you need and you are able to find your different notes. Again, it should be neat and organized. That doesn't mean it needs to be beautiful. I don't expect your handwriting to be pretty, but I want it to have just math in it so that you can use this as a tool this year as we're learning math. You can include doodles. I have lots of questions about that. If that helps you stay focused while you're taking notes, you may include little doodles on the side. But if you're spending more time creating beautiful drawings than you are taking notes in math, I'll have a chat with you. So for your notes, you're going to set it up with a title for every section. So your first section should look like lesson 1.1 through 1.3 numbers. So in my notebook here, looks like that. When you're taking notes, you're always going to have vocabulary first. Usually each section will have about 2 to 5 vocabulary terms. This first section, as you can see, has a lot of vocab. As we get started this year, many of the sections are going to have more because I want to make sure that you have that foundation of vocab to lean on. Then there will be a section with some practice problems. So again, if we look at my example here, we go straight from vocab, we have a picture at the last vocab word, and then we go into the practice problems. When we're showing practice problems, you want to show every step. Now these ones here have very few steps to show because we're talking about turning algebraic expressions into verbal expressions and then the other way around. But in general, you want to show all your steps so that you can use this as a resource when you're completing homework. Occasionally, I will be grading these. You can get classwork points for these assignments. If you're in the classroom, that'll mean I'll walk around and come and look at your actual notebook. If you're a digital student or if you're digital on the day that I look at notebooks, you'll have to take a picture and submit it on Teams. I do want you to do this. This is important, and so I am going to attach points to this assignment. Not every lesson will be checked for points, but I will spot check to make sure that you are completing these notes and that you are using this notebook successfully. If you're stuck and you don't know what I'm expecting for notes, you can check on Teams. If you go into the Files section, click on Class Materials, and then Student Notes, and I will have pictures of my notes because I'm going to be following along with you guys this year. I'm going to be taking student notes for every section so that I can show you what I'm looking for. On to homework now. So for homework, again, you're going to do the same thing. Homework is going to go in your notebook. So like this first section, we have 3 pages of notes. We have lesson 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. And when we're finished with that, we're going to dive straight into the homework assignment. This homework assignment is homework assignment number 1, 1.1 through 1.3, and it has 3 separate sections of page numbers. So I want to put all of that information at the top so it's easy to follow along with. As you're doing your homework assignments, you should copy the original problem, write it down so that if you make a mistake, you can see where your mistake was. Did you not understand the math, or did you have a mistake when you were copying over the homework problem? Again, you're going to solve the problem showing all of your work. Now again, not every problem has work to show. When we're turning verbal statements into algebraic expressions, there's not a lot of work. But especially as we dive further into the math this year, there will be many steps that I want you to show. When you're done, you'll put a box around your final answer, and this will help you out when you're trying to go back in and grade your assignments. One thing you can do is you can fold your page in half to make 2 columns to save paper. So if you look at the second half of my assignment here, I took my page and I folded it in half and made a crease so that I have 2 columns of homework assignments. I have some problems here, and then I started over to complete more on the other side of the page. That just helps save paper. You can do it if you choose or not, up to you. To grade homework, this is where that big piece of academic integrity comes in that we took on that syllabus quiz. You're going to find the answer keys in Files, Class Materials, and click on Homework Keys. Again, the homework key is going to come right out of my notebook because I'm going to be solving all of the math problems that you guys do this year. You are responsible for grading your own work, and I expect you to use academic integrity. That means that you need to be responsible. If you are missing a negative sign, mark it wrong. If your answer is really, really close but not correct, I want you to mark it wrong. That helps me figure out what you don't understand and what we need more time with as a class. What you'll do to submit your assignment is you're going to open up the form on Teams and find all these different questions to answer. I'll walk you through what the form looks like. Remember, you get 5 points for completing your assignment. So if you complete your assignment and you get every single question wrong, you still get a 50%. Math is about practice. It's not a spectator sport. You need to go in and actually do the work to understand it. So when you open up the form on Teams, it looks like this. The first assignment, this is just copied straight off of that first assignment. First step is to self-grade. How much of the task did you complete? And I hope that every student is always able to mark that 95% or more. If there's one problem that you're really stuck on and you can't get it done, that's okay. But I want you to try your best on most of the problems. If you complete fewer than 2 problems, it'll kick you to a different question on the form, and you're going to explain to me why you were not able to do your assignment. I understand life happens, but if it becomes a pattern, you and I will have a little conversation so that we know how to stay successful in class. So you'll mark how many points you get for completion, and then once you grade your homework, you're going to find your score. And so this first homework assignment is out of 30 points. So you'll show your work. Maybe you got a 15 out of 30. 15 out of 30, well, that's a 50%. So rounded to the nearest half, your accuracy score would be 2.5. In that box, I want you to show me your work so that I can see how many questions you got correct. And then for step 3, you'll choose your accuracy score. It has a drop-down box that has everything from 0.5 all the way up to 5 points, or 0 if you got 0 correct. Then on that last question, this one is not a required question, but I want to know if there's a problem that you were stuck on and you feel like you had the right answer but it didn't match the answer on the key, let me know. I'm human. I have made mistakes before in my life. If there's one that you want to go over as a class because you think it's a good one to talk about, let me know. If you want more time with these concepts, that you did it and you did okay, but you think an extra day would help on this assignment, let me know. I can't say that I'll always listen to what happens in that box there, but that really gives me important feedback that I don't get when you self-grade your assignments. So, not a required question, but let me know how you did on the assignment. And I think that's all we have for setting up your notebook and finishing your homework assignments.